Hi guys. So in the last video, I do believe I was showing you how to update the staff page, and we went into content and we changed the content in that staff page. In this tutorial, I want to focus on the MDSlider. This MDSlider is extremely powerful. However, if abused, it could really slow down how the site loads. So be sparing on how many images you place or how many slides you place on here. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 slides on here. I would be comfortable with you adding 1 or 2 more slides, but really, that's about it. Because after you start, the page needs to load, and it tries to preload all these images and animations and stuff before the actual page shows up on the browser. So I would only maybe add 1 or 2 more slides. I wouldn't go crazy with that. You can, if you want later on, I can add an actual images and video page that's specific for that. But as far as this front slider, I wouldn't go crazy because it does slow down the site. Because this is big, like from this section here all the way to the left to the section on the right is 1,920 pixels, and I think it's by 500 in height. So that's big. So be sparing on the content that you put in here. So how do we do it? How do we put content in this MDSlider? So this whole time we've been working with the content button. All right. Drupal does something a little bit different with this MDSlider because it's an actual plugin from a third party, and it's not actually content. It's part of the actual structure of the site. So in this case, we're not going to go to content. We're going to go to structure. So if we click on structure, okay, and real quick, you see these boxes up here? I'm not sure if I mentioned it before. Under no circumstances do you pay attention to these boxes. Do not get frisky and click available updates and update the site. Do not do that. Okay, leave that up to me. Do not touch that. All right. If you update the site, you will break it. Do not. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to take that ability away from you. So, but I'm not sure I can in the permissions. But in any case, so we went to structure. And down here, you're going to see MDSliders. Okay, you're going to click that, and you're going to see the MDSlider, which has already been created for you by moi. All right, so we want to edit this slider. So in this slider, you're going to see the different slides that are there. Okay, so you could either alter one of these slides, or you can add a new slide. So let's say we added a slide and we wanted we want to populate that slide. So let's add a new one. So we're going to click add. All right, and if you want to create a new background image for the slide, you can go ahead and choose background image. You can choose a thumbnail image. I wouldn't worry about the thumbnail image because we don't have an existing page to where that leads to the front page. The front page is already there, so you don't need a thumbnail image. So you could choose a background image. If you do not choose a background image, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see this blue. So if you have a question about that, let me know. Again, this might be a little bit difficult for you guys because it does require some Photoshop work if you don't have an image that's big enough to fill the space. But in any case, to fill this space with content, down here, it kind of looks like a word interface, but it's for audio and video. So you can add either text, you can add a new image, you can add a video, and you can align text, you can add spaces to text, you can change the size of the text, you can change the font and the font color of the text. So let's say we add some text, and in a text box, you notice that when you click text, you get a whole different set of dialogues. Okay, so Jason is an internet God who cannot spell. Okay, so we have this piece of text here, and let's say we want to alter it. Let's say we want to change the size and the color. So just follow the yellow brick road, man. Just go in here and you can change the spacing. You can change the font size. Let's say I want to make it 20 pixels. Hit enter, and it changes it to 20 pixels. But let's say I want to change this, the size of the box. You can literally go in there and take your cursor and place it at the corner here and drag it out, and and there's the box, and you can click in the box and drag it anywhere around. Now, I've set this box to 960 pixels, which is the minimum size of the smallest type of monitor that people would be using. Okay, so when you try to move this box all the way to the left, it's not going to go all the way over here because we want it to be limited to the edge of somebody's screen. So don't worry about that. That's how it's supposed to be. So this is the area that you have to work with as far as animations are concerned and text. So let's say I want to change the color of this text. Well, I just go in over here, and I can just move the slider and change the color of the text. And then let's say I want to animate the text. There's all kinds of different animations that you can do. In the start animation here, you can go in and you can fade it in from the left. You can bounce it in from the left or up or down. Just go ahead and play with those. Now, the important thing in this section is the stop animation. All right, in the stop animation, you want to keep in slide. You want that because what that does is when the animation is finished, it's going to stay in the slide the whole time. It's not going to disappear before the next slide shows up. So you want to make sure that you select keep in slide. Okay, and you can change like the background of the slide of the text. It can have a shadow, or it could have the text can have a shadow. And again, this is all stuff that you just play with and see what it does. You could change the background of that box. You can make it like a color, and then you can actually change the opacity of. Oh my God, did I really make it like pink? Goodness gracious me! And you can change the opacity of that, and you can put in a border if you want, and then you could put in like a 10 pixel border, and you can make it dashed or dotted, all kinds of stuff. And my suggestion to you is just to go in here and play with it a little bit, but just remember, okay, once you hit save, it's there. It's going to go up on the website for everyone to see. So my advice is, when we have new slides, when it comes to the slides, at first maybe you should have me do it, only because there's certain things that still need to be done by a robust program like Photoshop. And after I'm done building the slide, then you can come in and make changes as you see fit to like the text and stuff like that. All right, but basically that's the MDSlider, and that's how the slide works. And if you want to delete the slide, just come over to the slide and hit X, and it'll ask you if you want to remove the slide, and you can easily remove it. And that's the MDSlider.